Alarm NBA DFS show with Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are here for Monday's 6-game main slate, starting off at 7:30. We have the 10:30 game here on the slate as well. So 6 games, short slate, full slate with late swap because, I don't know, Friday seemingly was a one-off for now. We'll see if any other slates this upcoming week involve no late swap, but you know, it's funny how they care about the 10 p.m. games, the 10:30 games. They say it's a disadvantage, so they cut them off the slates. But unless it's a 6-game slate, then they'll leave them on, right? Because they don't want to make the slates too small. So, you know, who cares if there's 3 hours between start and end time for one game versus other games? But I digress. We have 6 games here. We have some pretty fun matchups as well. You know, Washington, Utah should be good. Clippers, Bucks, Thunder, Lakers here should be some exciting matchups for us from a DFS perspective.
Yeah, a lot of star power on the slate. Most of them should play. I know a lot of them have Q tags. We've already had some news come through the wire. Specifically, Larry Markkanen's out. Jaren Jackson's doubtful to play. So Cam Thomas is out again. So we have a lot of news to siphon through, a lot of news we've already gotten, but it should be a fun day of basketball. 6 games is a great sized slate, and I'm happy that we have the late night window with some potential news in that game. Like OKC on the second leg of a back-to-back. De'Aaron Fox is a questionable tag in the 10 p.m. game. Like, you know, it's good to have late swap on slates like this. Agree
with you 100% here. Looking at some of these matchups and game totals that we do have, a Memphis, Brooklyn Nets are giving 8.5 at home. It's a 212 total. Clippers, Bucks are giving 4.5 at home, 229 there. Portland, Minnesota, Timberwolves are giving 14.5. They're on a second leg of a back-to-back as well. 212.5 total there. Wizards, Jazz giving 7.5. No Lauri Markkanen in that game I think Clarkson might be out as well for the Jazz.
He's off the injury report.
Okay, well, Lauri Markkanen's already been ruled out for Utah in this one, so and Walker Kessler ruled out as well. So Utah giving 7.5 to Washington, 241.5 total there. Bulls, Kings giving 7, 229.5 total, and then Clippers, Lakers currently Thunder, Lakers currently giving 1, 239.5 game total in that one.
Yeah, some fun basketball to be played.
Point guard position will kick things off here. We got SGA at 10-7. That jumps down big time price wise. Harden at 89, Lillard at 87, De'Aaron Fox, whether he's in or out, at 85, and then Anthony Simons at 8K. Those are your top 5 priced point guards.
Yeah, I mean, SGA definitely fine to get to at 10-7. Healthy Clippers team relatively. I know Westbrook didn't. Westbrook broke his hand. We'll see what happens on the second leg of a back-to-back for the Clippers here. Kawhi played 38 minutes. Paul George played 34. Harden played 34. Harden did not make a shot, by the way, on Sunday. 0 for 10 in a game that they won with 89 points. So that's some like 1980s basketball. We'll see if there's somebody out. Obviously, Harden is in play. Lillard 87. Conversely, you know, he's been kind of up and down all year. 8,700 is a good price, has a ceiling. Anthony Simons definitely has a ceiling, as we saw last game, especially with all the injuries that they're going through.
Yeah,
I believe Jeremy Grant is listed questionable, listed doubtful. So, I mean, we say this all the time. Anthony Simons by himself, it's quite literally Anthony Simons.
I mean, it is. I mean, and you mentioned the Grant status as well. I mean, he's just going crazy here. Mid-tier, Kobe White, Russell, Reeves, Keontae George had the 30 actual point game the other night against Miami of all teams there. Tyus at 62. Jordan Poole, someone you've been high on at 6K.
Love Kobe White, 73. D'Angelo Russell in tournaments. Austin Reeves in tournaments. Keontae George, great play all formats with Larry Markkanen out. And Tyus Jones for tournaments.
Yeah, 100%. Value tier. Still in on Dennis Schroeder here?
I believe Simmons is questionable as long as Simmons is out.
Jordan Goodwin, I would assume in this range as well. We'll see whether or not Conley plays. Has he been playing back-to-backs lately?
Yes.
So I would assume he'll be good to go here in this back-to-back. He's 55. You mentioned Simmons, Trey Mann. I guess we'll see whether or not minutes will be there for him. Where are you on the value tier here? Terrence Mann. I'll never get them correct. So
Jordan Goodwin, I mean, he's fine. He's going to play 30 minutes. He just can't make any shots. So we'll see. Needs to make shots. Conley, 55, is fine as the last piece in. It's Portland, so they should dominate that game. Not a lot of love in this 5K tier. Terrence Mann played 18 minutes in a game without Russell Westbrook today. Like it's very hard to predict the minutes on a day-to-day basis. So I'm a little indifferent on the Terrence Mann.
Let's jump over to shooting guard here again. 6 games, so let's be a little bit of a quicker show for everybody. In the preview show, we go live again 5 o'clock Eastern time. So all the latest news and updates will be here for at 5 o'clock for you all. If you haven't already tossed a like down on today's show, please do so. It's a free way to support us here and really helps us up with the YouTube algorithms. Anthony Edwards, $8,800. New dad strength now for Anthony Edwards here as well. Did play on Sunday. Had a pretty good game at 27 actual points in that one. Gets to Portland. Paul George, $8,200. Mikal Bridges at 76. Colin Sexton, $6,900 here. Vince Williams, 68. So again, some guys, our usual suspects as they work our way in the top half of shooting guard.
Yeah, we'll see what transpires with Edwards. He's been dealing with the ankle. We'll see if he plays through it on the second leg of a back-to-back. Paul George, second leg of a back-to-back. He should be fine. He's been playing big minutes. So I like PG in tournaments.
It's a good price tag for him.
Mikal, yeah, good price tag for him. Mikal's been really good.
I know. Well, we kept going back and forth on him, right? And then no Cam Thomas again, right? Kind of opening things up a little bit.
No Cam Thomas again. That obviously helps tremendously. I think no Simmons as well. We saw him facilitate the first Atlanta game. Saw him absolutely dominate offensively. The second game, just scoring the basketball at will. I'm good on either guy or most of Brooklyn, especially if Simmons sits, because that means no Thomas, no Simmons. Bridges, 7,600, shooting guard, small forward, really good spot.
Mid-tier guys, as we work our way down the list here, I guess, with no Lauri Markkanen, doesn't make Sexton and Clarkson a bit more appealing for you?
Yes.
Gotta think the shots will certainly be there for him. Anybody else in this mid-tier range? I mean, obviously, I guess if there's no De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk would stand out at 65. Then you get guys under the 6K tier that we've kind of touched upon already as well.
Yeah, Monk broke the slate against Minnesota the other day. He went just full Super Saiyan mode in a really tough spot. So 6,500. Also, newfound shooting guard small forward eligibility that has not been in the Malik Monk bag this whole time. So I'm definitely interested. I know you mentioned Jordan Poole at point guard. I didn't really. But it's a great tournament. He's a great tournament play. Just it is what it is. He's been really good. They got torched the other day. That's fine. I will say like they're healthier than they've been. Koulibaly's back for this one, so that has definitely led to more minutes for Jordan Poole, at least like solidified his minutes. Now, if he goes 11 for 21 or 13 for 26, he's going to play minutes anyway. Like it's, he has 30 actual in 2 of his last 4. So definitely interesting in tournaments against a bad team.
100%. Going underneath the 5K tier, I mean, does someone like Bilal Coulibaly at all interest you? You have the healthier Memphis guys, Contra and Kennard down here. We'll see maybe NAWs he mentions. Some people could be in or out. Lonnie Walker, not getting in the run. We thought, shots just aren't going to be there for him. He's 41, but if someone else gets ruled out for Brooklyn, maybe there's some opportunities for him. Delano Banton had himself a night the other 2 nights ago against Memphis in the 20 minutes for him there. Hard to trust unless more people end up being ruled out for Portland as well. But what are your thoughts at some value shooting guard?
The Banton thing is interesting. He started the second half of that game for Jeremy Grant. He was just in massive foul trouble. I mean, he had 5 fouls in 13 minutes. Now, will that happen again?
He's broken slates a couple times, given the price tag, on him here.
If he were to draw a start at 3,700, I know it's a absolutely nightmare spot, but I think it would have to be something we consider.
Small forward here. LeBron James, a new all-time leader in points. $9,700 for him.
Not new.
Right.
New first one to hit 40. First
one to hit 40,000.
40K.
He's been the all-time leader. First one to hit 40,000.
Now did you see the stat? He has more combined points than Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Shocker.
Those two. I mean, those are two of the best 5 players
Agreed.
of all time. And he has more points than them combined.
Yeah, Magic would have never been able to score that much.
Right.
Had he not missed some time, it would have been interesting to see where he would have finished out there.
Sure.
Kawhi's up to 9K now. He's there, of course. DeRozan. We've talked about some of these other guys. Denny at 66 could be kind of interesting in this matchup against Utah here. Anybody that's jumping out to you more than the others?
I mean, LeBron's been awesome. If you want to get to LeBron, 50 and 4 straight or 5 straight and 7 of 8, and he's still under 10K. I don't necessarily understand that, especially when you factor in like, hey guys, by the way, Lakers are trying to make a playoff push here, and LeBron's playing 37 plus minutes every night. I'm not sure why we're still pricing him under 10K, but we are. So sure, as long as he's priced under 10K, that's a great price tag. Nothing else that really is new. I mean, DeMar DeRozan is in a good spot. If he has ceiling potential. He hasn't really shown it other than a double overtime game in Cleveland, but we know DeMar DeRozan has a ceiling at 77.
Yep, I agree with you. Under 6K guys then? Anybody that we haven't yet discussed?
Well, I haven't. I like Denny at 66.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Hachimura 52. It's fine. Kispert 48 in tournaments. He's not really getting a lot of run, but when he makes shots, he does stay on the floor.
What did we think of the Toumani Camara? Right, that was a big hot topic on Friday's show. People asking.
Yeah, I played him, and then I played him on Saturday. Yeah. He's $5,000. That's not the best, but 2 of the last 3 he's been really good. So if he can, he's going to continue to rebound. If he can score, that's where he's going to. Here's the problem for Toumani Camara. He's going to guard Anthony Edwards. They put him on the best opposing member of and I don't know if that's very good for Toumani Camara, considering Anthony Edwards is who Anthony Edwards is, but 5K is a little bit out of my price range, but I understand if you need to get there. I would say one more value that we could look at. We're going to go down this road again, unfortunately, but Talon Horton-Tucker played 20 minutes in the Miami game, and that was with Lauri Markkanen. So now there's no Lauri Markkanen. I know Clarkson wasn't event there, but are they going to start Clarkson? Do you think they just start Chris Dunn? What if they start Talon Horton-Tucker? We know the starting unit around the Markkanen spot is Keontae George, Colin Sexton, Taylor Hendricks, John Collins. Who's the 5th starter? They seem comfortable just bringing Clarkson off the bench, right? And if Clarkson starts, well, that means then Talon Horton-Tucker could be the 6th man. Or if Chris Dunn starts, maybe that hurts. I don't know. I think there's a path to getting to some Horton-Tucker. 3,600, played 20 minutes last game. And he's really good peripherally when he's out there. So he's $3,600. It'd be something that I would take a shot at.
Power forward. Giannis is here at 11.5. Again, we know LeBron and Leonard are both there, and then in the 9K range. Karl-Anthony Towns is still $8,300, which feels pretty good. We'll see whether or not Triple J suits up. He's $7,800. You got Kuzma, really good price tag for him in a great spot against Utah at 74. And Jalen Williams coming off of a back-to-back here at 73.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely get to Giannis coming off, the game that he had against the Bulls. It's a little unfair. Towns is in a good spot. He's only had to play 25 minutes a game against Portland because that has just been a non-competitive series so far.
Better if no Edwards, right? So
better if no Edwards. We'll see. Edwards seemingly plays through everything except second halves when his child is born, which is very understandable. You're spot on about Kuzma's price. That's an elite price. 46-49, 46-46 fantasy points for Kuzma in the last 3 games. Takes a boatload of shots, plays a boatload of minutes. The return of Bilal Coulibaly isn't going to stop that. This doesn't help Jordan Poole off the bench, right? Like,
No.
Jordan Poole coming off the bench, getting to Kuzma gets his whole first shift essentially without Jordan Poole, or however many minutes without Jordan Poole. That does not hurt. Like for 2 times a game. So I love the Kuzma price. No problems playing J-Dub on a back-to-back either. So yeah, I don't think there's necessarily a bad play above 7K.
Sure. I really wouldn't argue too much with you there either. I also think this is an elite spot for our guy, John Collins. Again, no Kessler, no Markkanen. Ceiling scoring potential for him. We know what he can do in the glass. We know how bad Washington is against opposing front courts there. Santi, I guess, will be dependent maybe on who's healthy for that team and how they go about their rotations. Cam Johnson, someone that the shooting went away for a while. Now it's returned, and the points have been there, and the production's been there.
Cam Johnson is going to be super popular. He has been incredibly popular for we said it in that first Atlanta game, and the shooting, as you mentioned, was just ridiculous. And then it was ridiculous again. He's that good shooting the basketball. He's always been that good shooting the basketball. Even through his slump this year, he's shooting 40% from 3. So it's not like he's having a bad shooting season. He's just been hurt the entire year. Love Collins. Aldama obviously has a ceiling with guys out. He played a lot of minutes and had a lot of fantasy points the other day. Keegan's at home against a team that can't defend the 3-point line. I think that's a little interesting too. What do you think?
I would agree. I mean, listen, the scoring has been another guy where it kind of comes and goes, but if there's going to be no De'Aaron Fox, the shots are going to be there for him. So I'm fine going there against Chicago. It's a team, as we talked about all season long, they give up 3-pointers. So if he can click into some threes here, sure.
Agreed.
Value power forwards. You got Hachimura, you got Naz Reid, Gigi Jackson. Hendricks had double-digit rebounds the other day. They started Lamar Stevens the other day. I don't know if they'll continue to do that, depending on who's in or out for Memphis here. We talk a lot of Kispert. Like, what are your thoughts at power forward?
I like Gigi. Jaren Jackson's doubtful, so it doesn't seem like he's going to play. Gigi Jackson played a load of minutes the other day. Didn't make a lot of shots, but man, he takes a lot of shots. So that's a good thing. Love the 5,100. Like, I'd rather play a $5,100 Gigi Jackson than a $5,000 Tamani. Just based on sheer volume alone. I know Kamara's had double-digit shot attempts in 2 of the last 3, but like, if Gigi Jackson gets the same amount as Tamani Kamara, he's going to double his shot attempts. Sure. So I also have played Taylor Hendricks now basically every slate that he started. 4,900. This is the spot he finally gets to double-double. He's starting. I think the interesting part about the Miami game too, and maybe the games prior, he hasn't closed. He did close the Miami game with no Jordan Clarkson. I could see the same scenario playing out now that there's no Lauri Markkanen. Like, it's without Markkanen, they close with Markkanen at the 4, Collins at the 5. Now there's no Markkanen, close with Hendricks at the 4, Collins at the 5. So I like Taylor Hendricks, 4,900. He's a very good rebounder. He can space the floor really well. He shot like 50% in college from 3. Just needs a little more shooting shot volume, but 4,900, really solid matchup, obviously. Lamar Stevens started, but only played 17 minutes. That's a disappointing thing about 4,900. I assume no Jeremy Grant means Jabari Walker starts, and he went nuclear again.
Good player when he's usually on the floor, right? If he can stay out of foul trouble and get the run.
Good player. Like, really good player. So I assume he's going to be, if not the highest rostered player of the slate, with like Jeremy Grant listed doubtful, he's like number 2, or he's tied for first. But I assume Jabari Walker is going to get both loads of ownership.
Anybody else for you down here? Dorian Finney-Smith, Harrison Barnes. I mean, Wilson got some minutes the other day. Anybody for you over the others?
And a contract. No.
What did Sensabaugh end up playing the other day? 14 minutes.
He just stays in that same teens minutes. He also just like you could probably count on one hand how many times he scored more than 10 fantasy points.
Sure. Center. Sabonis 10-5, Anthony Davis 10-1. Your top 2 price guys. Obviously, I think both are great spots here. I know you mentioned Giannis. I'm not ignoring Giannis. He's one of the 2 top price plays on the slate. No, if you wanted to play Giannis, you certainly can play Giannis. AD or Sabonis for if you had to pick one.
Sabonis.
Okay. I mean, it's not like the Heath triple double upside for me. I think it's more of a pace thing with the Bulls, but I mean, obviously the ceiling is a bit more consistently higher with Sabonis there, but we did just get a 70 out of AD there. Vucevic 79, Chet 8K, Gobert $7,500, and then you get down into some of the value guys.
You could play any of those. Chet, Vooch, I think they're all very solid. Gobert, really good matchup, like great matchup. Has dominated this matchup, but just
you can go up against Duop Reef.
Yeah, I mean, how competitive is the game going to be? Obviously, Portland is getting Minnesota on a back-to-back, but they're on the road. They're terrible. So, if you want to get to Gobert, it's tournaments only for me. Is Ayton? Ayton's only questionable, so he's been upgraded. He's been doubtful the last few slates, listed questionable. Ayton actually dominated this matchup once and then did absolutely nothing and fouled out in 20 minutes in the second. So, tournaments. Claxton's coming off a huge game. He was really good defensively in that one, 6,700. Collins, we've talked about. I'm a Marvin Bagley fan. Dude, 6,100 for Bagley. He's going to play 30 minutes.
That's a good spot. If Collins is the center he's up against in this game.
And it's not like they have another option. Like, they don't have Walker Kessler to fall back on. Do you know who they were? They dusted off Yurtseven.
Yeah.
He played 15 minutes. And so, like, that's the backup that Bagley might get some minutes against Yurtseven. Like, that's 6,100 is a spot I'm not afraid to get to Marvin Bagley. Zubac's returned from the illness and only played 18 minutes or 19 minutes. So, like, I don't think we see double big, but anytime we see double big,
Probably not with the way Sacramento's going to stretch the floor here. So,
and I don't think. Yeah, Jemison straight DMP the other day with
Steven starting.
Starting. As soon as Steven started, I was like, "Oh, that's DMP," and then sure did. Because that guy is definitely one of the lower tier NBA players. He has a lot to go before he. Here's the question: Yurtseven's the backup. Would you give any consideration to a $3,400?
I mean, I think it's interesting because now we play the foul trouble game all the time, but like if John Collins was to get in any sort of foul trouble in this game, you could see 20 plus minutes out of Yurtseven. He's always been kind of an interesting fantasy point per minute guy for us. During his Miami days, he's had some decent games when given playing time this year. He's a huge dude, right? He just goes out there and he can pull down rebounds and he can score. So I don't know, maybe if you want to throw some game theory or look for some fouls, but you're right. As the backup center, he got 15 minutes. So if you base floor him at 15, maybe you ceiling him at 18 to 20. Sure. I could see a multi-tournament entry lineup here. You're not single entering with Yurtseven, but maybe he makes one of 10 lineups. So
yeah.
All right, let's build a lineup. Before we do that, though, I want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Better Edge. Every day we run a pick'em contest over at Better Edge Fantasy Sportsbook. If you want to go ahead and scan the QR code or go to fanstom.com/pick'em. When you register, free to do, they give you $10. You don't have to put a credit card down. You don't have to make a deposit. You simply have to register and confirm your account, and they put $10 into your account there. These contests range anywhere from free to play to $3 for the daily pick'em contests. The more people that enter, the more money that is in the prize pool for you all to win. Some days it's a double up. Some days it's top 10 gets paid, but first place getting 25% of the pool. But in order to join these contests, you do have to sign up. So go to fanstom.com/pick'em, sign up over at Better Edge or scan the QR code there and get your $10 free today. It's free, guys. You can't hate free money being put into your account there. So check out Better Edge. We're going to be there for the rest of the season and beyond, doing contests over on the Better Edge app. So again, download it, sign up, register, get $10 free, and come play with us each and every day. All right, lineup building time here, James. What are we starting with? What's our go-to here? Do we do Jabari Walker?
Keontae.
Do we think like Portland's the spot?
Yeah, I actually started Keontae George, Jabari Walker, Marvin Bagley. I didn't advance much further than that, but like that Washington Utah game is going to be fun.
Yes, I would agree with you. Bagley,
like I remember, I don't know if you remember this game. It was like the Detroit Utah game, like when Bojan was still in Detroit, and it was like 160 to, or it was like 140 to 145, like overtime game. That has like this two like subpar team feels where like two fast-paced teams, no defense. I just plug Kuzma,
I got Kuzma
as well.
at the forward.
Like I don't know if this is a slate where you necessarily now there's a ton of star power. So like obviously if we can spend up, I'm not against it, but also
I mean Kawhi at 9K is not like egregious.
Kawhi at 9K is not egregious. Honestly, if you want to like full stack, like to like get something like Kawhi, like Horton Tucker too at 3,600, I'm telling you, there's like he played 20 minutes the other day with Clarkson out, and now there's no marketing. Like I think a similar rotation for Horton Tucker is in the cards.
I guess you would go Collins over Denny here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just
Keontae George, Jordan Clarkson, Kawhi Leonard, Jabari Walker, Marvin Bagley, Talon Horton Tucker, Kyle Kuzma, John Collins. That is a essential full game stack with one-offs as Kawhi Leonard and Jabari Walker with $200 left over. Just getting a little fun. The game's got a 240 total. So we're gonna get there with it here. Again, just an early look, an early example lineup for this 6-game main slate. James now will be back live at 5 o'clock Eastern time with any and all updates that are required here to get you all ready for this 6-game main slate that starts at 7:30. So you have a little extra time as well. I believe it's Dylan Clemens that's going to be on the playbook for this slate here.
No,
all right, it's James. I lied. James is going to be on the playbook for this Monday slate, so be on the lookout for that as well. Get us in the Discord, everybody. We'll talk to you later.